Last week, the College Board just released SAT Practice 5 and SAT Practice 6. So I'm going to do the math versions of one of them. So I'm going to do the math practice of SAT Practice 5. I could do the English, but I'm kind of lazy. So I'll do the math first, and then maybe I'll reset the test and do the English. I'm going to do the math and follow along. Now the math starts. Let's do it. I'm not taking a break. Now we start the math. It already started. Number 1. A vet recommends that each day a certain rabbit should eat 25 calories per pound of the rabbit's weight, plus an additional 11 calories, which equation represents the situation where the total number of calories the vet recommends the rabbit should eat each day if the rabbit's weight is X pounds. So 25 calories per pound of the rabbit's weight. So that would be, and if the rabbit's weight is X pound, it should be 25, it should be 25X, and then plus an additional 11 calories. So that is our equation, 25X plus 11. So that would be D, just choosing D and then going forward. Special camera is used for underwater ocean research. The camera is at a depth of 39 fathoms. What is the camera's depth in feet? So we know what it is in fathoms, and we have to convert it to feet. So this is simple. We just have to convert fathoms to feet. We know that 1 fathom is, let me just say 1 for this. 1 fathom is 6 feet. So what is 39 fathoms? How many feet is that? So we just have to cross multiply, and then we can get X is equal to 39 multiplied by 6. I'm going to use a calculator. 39 multiplied by 6, and that's it. You get 234. So that's our answer. And then I go next. Number 3. This is a geometry problem. What was the last one? It was 234. Next one is geometry. Line M is parallel to line N, and line K intersects both lines. So it's a transversal thing. The value of X is less than 145. Because this over here is 145, that thing over there, the one opposite is 2 is also 145 because they're just vertically opposite angles. So the value of X equal to 145. So that would be C. Let's move on to the next one. This is student response thing. They're just giving instructions for this. Let me just make this a bit bigger. Come on, whatever. The function F represents the total cost of attending an arcade when X games are played. How many games can be played for a total cost of 58? So the total cost is what Y is of what F of X is. So 58 is equal to 14 plus 4X. So we have to solve for X. We have to solve for how many games are played. So 58 is equal to 14 plus 4X. So we subtract 14 on both sides. We get 44. 44 is equal to 4X. Divide 4 on both sides. We end up with X is equal to 11. So that was number 3. We're just plugging in 11 here and go next. So 4X minus 28 is equal to negative 24. What is X minus 7? What is X minus 7? So for number 5, we're doing 4X minus 28 is equal to negative 24. And then we take out 4 on the outside. We get X minus 7 on the inside. And then we also take out 4 over here for the negative 24 because everything divides by 4. So we have 4 negative 6. So X minus 7 is what we're looking for. So if we divide 4 on both sides, 4 cancels out. X minus 7, we get it directly now, which is just negative 6. So X minus 7 is equal to negative 6. So C is our answer. Go next. The amount of Hannah's bill for a food order was 50. Hannah gave a tip of 20% of the amount of the bill. What is the amount in dollars of the tip Hannah gave? So again, it's important to be careful about what they're asking here. Are they asking for the total amount or are they asking for the total tip? So they're asking for the tip, right? So if it was 50, tip is going to be 20% of that. So we just do 50 times 20%. And then we take out the zeros. That's going to be 10. So 10 is the amount of the tip Hannah gave. So 10, we just put in 10. Go next. Let me just read this question. The 5 sea turtle types each have a nest, and then the table shows an original data set of the number of eggs that each turtle laid in its nest. That's a lot of eggs. A 6 nest with 121 eggs added to create a new data set, which is directly compares the means of the 2 data sets. So all of these are like 40s, 130s, and the nest with 121 is less than all of these, right? So the mean would then drop from this set over here. So the mean of the original data set is greater than the mean of the new data set. That makes sense. So A would be our answer. They can't be equal. The original data set would be more because they have higher numbers and 121 makes it lower. So that's it. We go next. Shaded region. Now we could do this manually or we could do this in Desmos. So let's do it manually and then we'll do it in Desmos too. So all these equations are pretty much the same. We just have to identify what the slope is. So is it negative? Is it 3 or is it -3? So if it's, so it looks like it's going to be a negative slope, right? Because the line is leaning towards the negative side of the x-axis. So we know it's a negative slope. So let's say, so the slope would be -3, but we can just double check. Let's pick 2 points. We can pick the one and -4, and then we can pick another one. Let's say, I wish they had annotate. I don't know why they don't have annotate on here. Anyways. So pick 2 lines, it's going 2 points, it's going up. I'm gonna pick -1 and 2. So it's going up from there, from -4 all the way to 2, that's 6 points, and then to the side by 2. So if it's going up and to the left, that would be negative the 6 up and then 2 to the side, so 6 over 2. So that would be -3. So -3 we know is our slope. So it can either be B or D. But what is it going to be? Is it going to be y is less than -1, -3x, or is it going to be y is greater than -1, -3x? It would be greater than, because we're choosing all the y's that are above this, everything above here, right? So it would be all the one that's on top. So it would be y is greater than -1, -3x, 3x. So it'd be D for this one. Let's get to the next one. So this is, which is expression is equivalent to this here. This we just have to look at the like terms and combine them together. So we have 8x cubed and x cubed, subtract them because it's negative. So we do 8x cubed minus x cubed, that is 7x cubed. And then we do 8 minus 2, we have to be careful about that because the minus there and then another minus. So 8 plus, that becomes 8 plus 2, so now we have plus 10. So that's it, 7x cubed plus 10, that's our answer, that is B. Let's go to the next one. Line T passes the points, blah, blah. Which equation defines line T? So now we have 2 points. We have to find the slope of this line, and we have to find the y-intercept. So we have to find 2 things. Now the y-intercept, actually, they've given it to us because they're saying it passes through points 0, 9. So 0, 9 is where x is 0, so y is 9, and that's the y-intercept. So if the y-intercept is B, we know it's gonna be either A or D. Now let's find the slope. So the slope is, the formula for finding the slope is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then we end up with 17 minus 9, 1 minus 0. And then we end up with 17 minus 9. 17 minus 10 is 7 plus 1, 8. So our slope is 8. Our slope is 8 and our y-intercept is 9. So it's going to be 8x plus 9. So that's D. Next one. What is the solutions to the given equation? We have to find what D is. So let's open up this equation because it's given in weird form. So it's gonna, we can also then put it into Desmos after we do that. So we open it up, we FOIL that part. So let me write it down. So D minus 30 multiplied by D plus 30 minus 7 equals -7. We can actually add 7 on both sides to get rid of the 7. So they just become 0 on both sides. So now actually, oh, now it's easy because we have 0 on both sides. So we do 8 minus 30 equals, or multiplies to 8 plus 30 equals 0. So now we have D in a normal form. So we can say D is either 30 or D is either -30. And again, they're not saying that D is positive or D is negative. We can put anything. Let's put the positive number to just make it easier. So let's put 30 and that's it. We'll go next. The store sells 2 different containers of blueberries. The store's sales of these blueberries total 896.86. That's a weird number. The equation is this, where X is the number of smaller containers sold and Y is the number of larger containers sold. According to the equation, what is the price in dollars of each small container? So basically, if a total 896.86, they're telling us that the smaller container is the X one. So it's the 4.51. So that's being sold for 4.51. And the larger one is Y. So that's being sold for 6.07. The smaller container would be 4.51. So we'll just write that down, 4.51. And we move on to the next one. Function model intensity, blah, blah, blah. In number of particles, T millimeters below the surface of a sample of iron. According to the model, what is the estimated number of particles in the X-ray beam when it's at the surface of the sample of iron? So basically, if it's T millimeters below the surface, right, it's decreasing by 50% because it's 0.5. So at the surface of the sample of iron, right, it starts off at 500, right? So it decreases as it goes down, but when it starts off at the surface, it's actually just 500 because it starts off with 500. So our answer is 500, and then we move on. The graph of this function is shown where y is equal to f of x. So this is f of x, which is the graph of y is equal to 5x, f of x plus 5. So when they say plus 5, f of x plus 5, you're going up by 5, right? The x is not changing, so you're not moving to the right or the left. You're going up by 5 because it's saying plus 5. So you just have to look for something that's moving up by 5. So let's see. A is not moving up by 5. B is not moving up by 5. C is not moving, or maybe C is moving up by 5. No. D looks like it's moving up by 5 because the 2 where the 10 is, it was actually at 1, but now it should be at 6. So D's are answered. Given equation relates to positive numbers, P, N, and C, which equation correctly expresses C in terms of P and N. So, okay, now we have the equation in terms of P. So we do P is equal to 19 minus C. We have to find C in terms of P and N. So it has to be C equals something. So we have to just move everything from C and then solve for it. So let's do the first thing. We divide both sides by N. So P over N equals 19 minus C. And then we have to find C. So we subtract both sides by 19. So P over N minus 19 is equal to negative C. Now we have negative C, so we can change the signs of both of them. So instead we get 19 minus P over N. I just switched the negative on that side. So we get C. So it's now going to be 19 minus P over N, and that's equal to C. So that's going to be D. Let's move on to the next one. The length of each side of a box is 29 inches. Each side of the box is in the shape of a square. The box does not have a lid. What is the exterior surface area of this box without a lid? So think of this as just a cube, except there's no top, right? So finding the normal surface, we'll find the normal surface area and then just not take one side. So let's find the surface area of one of the sides. So if I had to draw a box over here, we're just taking all of this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So we don't need the 6th side. So if it's just the area per side, it's just in a square. So it'd be 29 times 29 per side. So 29 times 29, I'm just gonna use a calculator. I don't know what that is. 29 times 29, 841. And then because there's 5 sides, there's no top lid. 841 times 5. So that's our answer. It's 4205. 4205. Let me just see if I missed anything. Each side of the box. The box does not have a lid. What is the exterior? I'm just double checking. 29 times 29 times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4205. That's it. Next one, 17. What is the sum of the solutions to the given equation? So there's 2 equations because it's an absolute value. So let's write this down. X minus 9 plus 45 equals 63. We subtract 45 on both sides, so we get 63 minus 45. That would be, I should do the quick maths, 18. And then x minus 9, absolute value is equal to 18. Now take out the absolute value, we can do 2 equations. We can do plus 18, we can do minus 18. So x minus 9 equals 18. That's our first equation. And so let's solve for that. So we get x is equal to 8 plus 9 on both sides. So we get 18 plus 9, that would just be 27. And then there's second equation. So this is our first equation. And then x minus 9 equals negative 18 is our second equation. So we get x is equal to negative 18 plus 9. That is just negative 9. So we have 2 equations and they're asking for the sum of solutions. So 27 minus 9 is our sum. So we get 27 minus 9. That is just 18. So that is our answer. Next, what is the value of tangent of 92 pi over 3? That's a tricky question. I've never seen a question like this before. So 92 pi, well, I think we can just put in decimals. Let's see. And 92 pi over 3. Tangent, tangent, tangent. Oh yeah, okay, great. 92. All right, pi out. Let's see. There's no radian function. Guess there's no tangent or radian. Is this? No, that's calculus. That's fine. We're just gonna convert it to degrees. Wait, what? Tangent, tangent. And then, so this is what? It's 92 pi over 3. So 92 times 180 over pi, or 180. How do we convert pi? Oh, 180 over pi, yeah, to let go, to get rid of the not the pi. Why am I saying pi? Is it pi? 92 tangent of 92 pi over 3. So 92 times 180 over 3 to get 180 over pi to get rid of the pi. So let's do 92 times 180 and then divided by 3. Is that the answer? Oh, it's like a root answer. So the answer is 0.2254. So let's see which one of these is. It doesn't look like it's negative. Root 3 is 1.732. So root 3, I think it's root 3 divided by 3. Let's check. 1.732 divided by 3. I'm just using the answer choices here. Oh, oops. 0.577. Oh, that doesn't seem right. 180 over 3. 92 times 60. 92 times 60. Oh, wait. I just saw the pi right there. I'm so angry. Tangent. Pi is right there. Tangent of tan 92 pi over 3. Now we're gonna get the answer. Great. It's negative 1.732. So negative 1.732. So root 3 is 1.732. So if it's a negative, then it'll be negative root 3. So it'll be A. That took a while. Let's do the next one. So again, did you notice how the questions are getting harder over time? So the beginning was so easy, we just breezed through it, but then now it's like 19, 20, 21, 22. These are going to be tough. It's good that we have time, though. We have about 13 minutes. Let's do number 19. Which expression is equivalent to this? So what we just have to do is from fraction form, get it to simplified form by just adding them together and having them as one numerator and one denominator. So our common denominator is 42a over k plus 42ak. Our common denominator is k. So we take that, it's 42a on top. We multiply k on both sides on the second one. So we get 42ak squared. And that's it. And then we can see what's common in this. So 42a is common on the top. So we do 42a multiplied by 1 plus k squared. So we get over k. So 42a, k squared plus 1. That will be D. So let's go choose that and move on. The graph of this equation is a circle, and point AB lies on the circle, which is a possible value of A. Which this just basically means that if it lies on the circle, so if this is a circle, it has to be any point on the circle. It can be inside, it can be outside, so it has to fully satisfy. So let's see how we would do this. The way we would do this is we're looking for a value. When we plug in x, we end up with, when we plug in x for this equation, we end up with the y, and then we actually end up with 121. So for negative 16, if we said, let's say x is negative 16, right? So for the 20th one, if we said negative 16 plus 4 whole squared, that would be negative 16 plus 4. That would be negative 12 whole squared. That would be 144. That would be bigger than whatever we would get for y. So whatever y squared would get, and then that would be 121, which is not possible. So 16 is too much. It's too high. What if we did negative 14? So negative 14 would be negative 14 plus 4, negative 14 plus 4 whole squared, and that would be negative 10 whole squared. That would be possible. It could be 100, and then whatever y, and then y has to be, or y minus 19 whole square has to be 21 to end up with 121. And I don't think there's a perfect square that makes 21. So we're going to eliminate 14(2), negative 14(2). Let's see if C works, which is 11. So 11 plus 4 is 15. 15 squared is 225. That's too high again. D is also 19 plus 4. That's also too high because that's greater than 121. So actually, the only option that works is B, because Y can still, like, B can, doesn't have to be like perfect square. The only one that works is B, because negative 14 plus 4 gives you negative 10 whole squared, which is 10 whole squared, which is 100. And if we do 121 minus 100, we can find Y with that. So the only one that's possible is 19, is B. So it's negative 14. We only have 9 minutes for 2 more questions. Let's do this. So a right rectangular prism has a height of 9 inches. The length of the prism's base is X inches, which is 7 inches more than the width of the prism's base. Which function gives the volume of the prism in cubic meters in terms of the length of one's prism's base? So this is a right rectangular prism. We can go to our reference sheet to see how a prism looks like. So, wait, I can't scroll down. Okay. So the right rectangular prism, wait, which one's the prism? Right rectangular prism. This is a sphere, this is a cylinder, this is a cube, rectangular box. I think this is a prism, right? Prism. This is a pyramid. So I think this is a prism. The conical. The cone. Isn't that a cone? I'm so confused. Wait, which is 7 more than the width of the prism's base, with the volume of the prisms on one space. The length of the prisms. Oh, right rectangular prism is just a box, a rectangular box. So it would just be the length times width times height. So it has a height of 9 inches. Wait, would that be correct? All the answer choices look like that. A right rectangular prism is just, I was getting confused. So it has a height of 9 inches. The length of the prism's base. So it's just going to look like a box, honestly. The height is 9. The length of the prism's base is X inches, which is 7 inches more than the width. So let's say the width is here. So the width, the base is X. So base is X, which is 7 inches, which is equal to 7 more than the width. So X is 7 more than the width. So we can either write the base in terms of the width or the width in terms of the base. So let's just do X as 7 plus W, honestly. We have to find X though. I'm just going to do the width in terms of X. So the width is X is equal to 7 plus W. Width is X minus 7 is W. So that's our X minus 7. So now our volume is just X times X minus 7 times X. Wait, where did the 9? Oh, 9. So it's 9 times X minus 7. So it would be D. I hope it's D. I think it's D. Last one on the test here. The function is defined by this. The graph of y is equal to f of x passes through this point, negative 24 and 0. So our x-intercept is negative 24, 0. And f of 24, whatever the function is less than 0. Which of the following must be true? This is a little bit tricky. The graph of y is equal to f of x passes through the point. So this point satisfies the equation here. So we can plug in y for 0. Let's see. And f of 24. So when x is 24, that's less than 0. So 22, what I'm going to try to do is plug in the negative 24. Oh yeah, I know if it's not. Negative 24, we plug that in into here, right? And we see how a and b changes. So x is when y is 0. So a times square root of negative 24 plus b. So a, we can it just goes away on that side, divide a on both sides, goes away. We get 0 is equal to negative 24 plus b, square both sides. So we get 0 is equal to negative 24 plus b. So b is equal to 24. We still have to find a though, because it's saying that f of 24 is less than 0. So when x is 24, we know what b is. So we know that b is 24. So x is 24 plus 24. F of x is a times square root of 24 plus 24. That's 48. And this answer over here would be less than 0 would be greater. So this is greater than 0. So this is greater than or not this is greater than, but this would be basically a negative number. So f of x would be a negative number. So the only way that could be negative if a was negative. So a is going to be a negative number. And because of that, b is going to be greater than a. So our only answer that works is D. Okay, I'm going to say next. We haven't reviewed anything. Pretty sure all my questions are right. I think I was iffy about one of them. Maybe it was 20. Everything looks okay, honestly. Let me just move on to the next one. I'm just going to go ahead and submit this, or I can take a break. So I'm done with this test. Just going to go next. Go to review page. I'm just going to wait for this to end. So that was the first module of the SAT practice number 5 of the math section. And I'm going to do the second module. I'm sure I'll get the hard version. I could also do the medium version on a later video, but I will show you guys the hard module that I get.